afternoon. It's me. I'm here ready to do some stuff about Fortnite and statistics in Fortnite. It's the last lesson before the summer holidays. So this is like last lesson time. So we are going to talk about Fortnite because I still think there's some maths to talk about in there. And I'm going to just go through a few bits on there, not too long, 15-20 minutes, talk about the where statistics can come from, just an everyday thing like this, and wish you all a happy summer. And I will then have a break of probably about a month before I do a couple of bits just before we come back to school, and then maybe do one primary, one secondary each week, and then maybe a homework catch up every sort of weekend, sort of come up with a regular slot that we can do homework support and things like that. So, how can I be of assistance? Well, first thing, let's go straight into the last intro of the term. Okay, love it or hate it, Fortnite is a game played by thousands of millions of people across the world, from youngsters to adults to really young to all the way through. And some teenagers and youngsters like to think of things as going, oh, that's dying, that's so bad because everyone else likes it. It's not. More people are playing Fortnite now than ever before, and it's not necessarily. As someone who's always played games, I'm going to take that off. It's hot, but never mind. Someone who's always played games every now and again. It's something I've dabbled in. I don't have time for much games because obviously I'm working hard, but as a board game designer, I like to play all sorts of different games, computer games, board games, all sorts of things to get ideas and to see what's going on, and also to relax. So, first thing I did was looked at my last few games. So I tried desperately to try and get a win so that I could go, it'd be an excellent way to celebrate, to finish it, punctuate and finish the video would be a Fortnite victory royale. Sadly, as you can see, my efforts yesterday and today did not yield a victory, and you can see at 20 past 12 today, my last real chance, because it took 20 minutes, so by the time I finished it was 20 to 1, and I knew I was on at 1. Last chance, I finished second and should have won and missed my shotgun. So there you go. These things happen. However, what I've come to talk about is the statistics in Fortnite. And to do so, what I thought we'd take a look at, I'm going to be very brave today, and I'm going to show you my statistics. So I've gone to Fortnite Tracker, and this is Fortnite Tracker, and you can see this is me, Bonobo Gamer. Now, I won't accept lots of people trying to add me as friends. I'm afraid, because of being a teacher, I only accept friend requests from people I know. But I will, however, show you. I'm quite honest with you. You can see I've only ever had 10 wins in my lifetime and 347 kills. I'm not very good. I don't have time to play for thousands and thousands of games, but I have, as you can see, I've played a number of games. Now you can keep track of things like 1%. 3 wins, 1% means I've played about 300 games. If solo, I've 1.7 with 2 wins, so that's 1.7 would be 3.4. I can't quite work out. Less duos, and I've played a few squads with friends as well. So you can see I've done a few wins. But what's interesting is that all of these numbers have just been calculated from collecting data. And this is what fascinates me, is when you are going through any activity in life, sports, computer games, anything, you can collect statistics. And this is the mathematics side of me coming out, you see. Anything where you can log information, what this does is it collects all my information and it records exactly how many wins I've had, exactly how many win percentage. Now, if I know I've got 10 wins with a win percentage of 1.4, that means if I times that the 1.4, it means in 100 games I win 1.4% of the time. I can actually do some stats with that. So 10 wins, win percent 1.4. Let's have a look at what that does if I go here. So I've got 10 wins, and the win percentage is 1.4. And we know that if you do wins divided by total, you get, and times 100, you get, I might be behind myself here. I might need to move to a new slide. I'm going to do a new slide just because I'm worried I'm going to be behind myself. If I've got 10 wins and a 1.4%, it's not very good. it doesn't matter. I'm a 38-year-old man. I have to spend my time on other things. I've got a baby to look after and things. But if I am trying to work out this percentage, when you do wins divided by total games times 100, you get your win percentage. Anything that's a percentage is likely to be the thing you want divided by the total times 100. Well, we haven't got the total games here, but I've got my wins and I've got my win percentage of 1.4. So we can work it backwards. We can go 10 divided by something total equals 0.014. So the total must equal 10 divided by 0.014. That goes up there and that comes down there. So I'm going to use my calculator, which I've got handy. 10 divided by 0.014, and that tells me, roughly speaking, I've played around, and this is over all sorts of seasons, so as you can tell I don't play that much, 714 games, including at least one game where I've clipped a tree when I was coming into land and died straight off the bat. Not many wins, but you can see it's something to do in your spare time. It's a bit of fun. Now, what I'm trying to do here is show that the number of statistics you can get just from those sorts of things. Now, anytime you see a statistic like this, we've got K/D, we've got kills/mins, kills/match, score/match, score/minute. Anytime you see a slash, what you're also thinking of, I'm going to copy paste this screen so we can do some more stuff on it elsewhere. And we're going to go to a new page and we're going to copy it because then I don't have to keep flicking back. These are my solo stats. Anytime you see these sorts of statistics, and this is not just Fortnite, of course. This is anything. I would do it in football matches, cricket matches. So anything where you've got something per something, something per something, something per something, something per something. The slash tells you that something has been divided by something else. So kills/match, if we look at the maths of it, is the number of kills I have got divided by the number of matches I've done. And that's how you get these statistics. To turn that into a percentage, we just times it by 100. If you then want to work it as a percentage, you just times it by 100. So you can also do all sorts of different things with any time you see these statistics, and you can collect all sorts of things. Anytime you want to find out performance. Now, what is the purpose? It's important to think about what the purpose is of doing these sorts of statistics. Now, I'm just going to quickly see if there's anyone asking questions or anything. Josh is here. Well, Josh, hopefully you can see there. And Danny Lawrence, nice to see you, Danny. So occasionally, yes, Josh, occasionally I will play it. If we wanted to chill out, I play all sorts of different things. But I think it's important as a games designer, which is what I do as well as being a maths teacher, to try all sorts of different games, to try all sorts of different things, because that way you keep your eye on what's new in gaming and what's different, and you can always learn new things about games design. Now, what I was trying to say here was, why would you keep statistics? Now, I don't generally look at my statistics much. I've got them up just to show you that I play, and also to show you what sort of statistics can be used. However, where statistics are really useful, I had a boy I used to teach who has now become reasonably good at it. He's not the number one in the UK by any stretch of imagination, but he does compete regularly in cash games and things like that. Now, it's important to impress upon people, and I try and say this to all people. I would never try and squash people's dreams, but I would try and be realistic with them. The likelihood of people becoming gamers or content streamers or anything like that are very, very, very small of being successful. That's not to say don't try, but it is worth noting that the amount of hours people have to put in compared to the number of people who are successful, it is very, very challenging. However, if I was to, let's say for example, I was packing in maths and I was going to kind of a full-time maths teacher, a full-time Fortnite player. Obviously, I would want to try and get this increasing. I would want my wins to go up and I want my kills to go up. That's an obvious. But what you can do with statistics is you track over time. So let's say this was week 1. This is my start. So we can all see I'm starting today at 1%. I might then at the end of week 1 look again. At the end of week 2 look again. And what I want to see is improvements and the change in things. This is how, not just Fortnite, but I'm using Fortnite as an example here of how you can monitor progress and track progress. Similarly, if I wanted to improve my kills per match, kills per death, I think that stands for, kills per match. If I want to improve that, I start at 0.6 and I want to see that score each one. I want to monitor, is it going up? And if I'm looking at my stats and this one's gone up, so I'm happy with that, and this one's gone up, and this one's gone up, but then this week it goes down, you can use stats to start monitoring. Well, what did I do differently that week? Oh, maybe I was being more cautious. Maybe I was trying to avoid people. Maybe I was trying to run away and hide too much. So there's various different things you can use, but statistics allow you to monitor performance. If I said to you, oh, I haven't been on the right screen. I got back on the screen straight away. So what I was trying to show you here is that if I write down my stats for win and I write down my stats here for kills per match, then kills per death, what this does is it allows me to monitor performance. So let's say this was 1.4 and this was 1.6. I can see I'm getting better. If I then have a 1.2, I know, because it's gone down, I need to look into that and go, right, what's going on? And what you can do with performance, you want to give yourself targets. So using statistics, let's say we were trying to improve and use statistics to improve Mr. Harris's Fortnite. You can say, right, but I'm going to set a target of 2%. And I monitor my way up there. So this is my starting point, 1.4. And I want to try and get it up to 2, so I want to try and keep improving it. Now my table there is terrible, and I'm going to change that because I do not like giving you things that don't look right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start that again, because I think it's very important to make this look nice. So let's say here's my table. I'll just change it to black. Right, so here is 1, here is 2. Let's say I wanted to try and target getting to a 2%, and I'm starting at a 1%. So that might be what I want my progress to look like. You see how the rate of improvement gets better. It might be that I want to do it like that. And that might be more likely, in fact, because you're more likely to improve earlier more than you improve later. But then what you can do is you can give yourself time. So let's say by the end of week 1, the end of week 2, by the end of week 3. So let's say by 3 weeks' time I want to be there. It gives you a way of checking your progress, not just in Fortnite, obviously, but I'm using this as an example. I can read off my graph. Well, for me to be keeping this progression accurately, I need to be at 1.6 and then a 1.8 there. So it gives me targets, you see. I can say at the end of week 1 I want to be at 1.6, the end of week 2 I want to be at 1.8. That will allow me to reach my target. And it's all about target setting, but using statistics. You should not try and set goals, just random goals. Oh, I want to be better. Statistics allows you to monitor. Well, how do I compare? So the two things that we can mainly use statistics for is number 1, improvement, and number 2, comparison. Because if I've played, let's say my friend's Jeff. If Jeff has gotten 8 wins, he might say, I'm way better than you. But if his 8 wins have come from 3,000 matches, and Mr. Harris's 3 wins have come, let's say, from 500 solo matches, it's far harder to say, well, who's best? So what we have to do is compare 3 divided by 500 and 8 divided by 3,000. Because then we're directly comparing the same quantity. So 3 divided by 500 is a score of 0.006. And 8 divided by 3,000 is 0.026. So you can see this one is better than this one because we've compared the same figures. And suddenly the 8 doesn't look as good as the 3. Even though Jeff has been going, oh, much better than you, I've got 8. So this is why I think it's important to understand statistics, to understand how it's possible for someone to be better, but with a lower number. Because I came on here, and when I first came on, I was reading a couple of the comments, and I noticed someone say, oh, you've got more wins than me. And so I said, well, actually, it doesn't matter if I've got more wins than me or not, because we don't know all the statistics. We can't compare. We can't compare directly unless we know what our statistics are talking about. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting. I wanted to try and make it a bit different today and talk about how you can use statistics, compare statistics, and use them to monitor different improvements and compare different people, and how you can look at stats and monitor stats, because collecting a lot of information allows you to draw quite a lot of conclusions and find averages and things like that. I hope you found that interesting. I thought we might like to finish. You obviously feel free to go if you want to, but what I thought you might like to do is just watch a little video of me trying to play. So I was trying to record this earlier in the hope I might get a win, and it didn't happen. But you can see I don't even know why it's not playing any volume, but apparently it doesn't have any volume. But you can see my serious face on here. You watch what happens when I have my serious face. So I'm landing here. I've got my serious face on, and you can just see in the bottom left corner my serious face. I managed to get a very early kill with terrible shooting. It takes me ages to do so. You can see I'm not very good. I did warn you this. But I managed to get a kill, and then I zoom off to my favourite things. I get my gun, zoom off up here. This is my favourite way of playing. And I don't even know if I got another one, because I then had a bit of an incident, I think, after this, if I remember rightly. I had to fight off 2 sets of marauders in one go. But I'll whiz forwards a little bit. I remember not doing very well. I snuck over the edge. Oh, I remember. I was trying to be cautious and trying to. There's all the marauders there, and they came, and I was just not very good at it, to be honest. Just did my best though, and so I tried to run away into the field so I could get away while they were all shooting me. But I was dying, as you can see my sad face, my concentration sad face as I'm trying to play, and I was in the field, but they were still getting me. So I ran out, and probably shouldn't have run into the clearing. And then they all came out like that and just went after me, and I was all sad. And I got him, but then one of these two gets me. So that was it. That was all over. You can see my resigned look of sadness. But I just thought that was not my best effort. But I just thought, you know what? It'd be nice for you to see. Mr. Harris does sometimes play, and isn't very good. But hopefully that's been interesting to you. So I have been Mr. Harris. You haven't, and for the last time, thank you very much for watching. I've been Mr. Harris. You haven't, and it won't be the last time forever. I will be back in the new term. So just before September, I'll send some things out, and we'll try and get more people watching, and we'll try and do some things to help people out. I've been Mr. Harris. You guys haven't. Look after yourselves and take care. Bye bye.